My sister's boyfriend said he wanted me, so my sister attacked me. Someone told me to send my dad the link to my post and I did. I think he showed it to my mom or sent her same link because she came to my room and said she wanted to talk to me. I refused because I had tried talking to her many times to prove myself, but she ignored me or refused to hear me out. She then told my dad to try and make us talk, but I refused again and told my dad that I wanted to go to my grandparents' house and stay there because I was uncomfortable at home. I also specifically said in front of my mom that I wanted to go to a place where no one thought I was trying to steal another person's boyfriend, and my mom tried to defend herself saying that it was a misunderstanding and that she was ready to listen to me, but I didn't want to talk to her. I think she might have read the comments from my first post calling her a bad mother and was trying to convince herself that she was a good parent in that situation when she wasn't. My dad took me to my grandparents' house on Tuesday and they immediately believed my side of the story when I told them what happened, and while my dad was still in their house, my grandfather told him to ban Jay from coming to our house. My grandmother wanted to confront my mom, but I knew my mom would feel bad about it and probably cry, and even if many people here told me to let my mom get called out by my grandparents, I didn't want that. It would cause more drama with her side of the family and it would become something big, and maybe they would all end up taking my mom's side, which was Jay's side, and I didn't want that. Also, my dad discouraged it for the same reason. So I stayed with my grandparents for almost a week and it was nice. My dad would call me regularly to check on me. My mom tried to call me and she sent me a lot of texts asking me to come home, but I didn't want to. I had blocked my sister on everything, so I don't know if she tried reaching out, but I highly doubt she did. My dad called and told me that my mom has been crying a lot and begging him to get me to come back, and my grandmother also told me to go back for her sake, so I had to. My grandparents took me back home after school and my mom started to act all nice and sweet to me and was trying to do everything for me and asking for a girls' day out with just me and her, but I refused. Before I wouldn't question this because she's usually nice to me, but after what happened and her siding with my sister plus accusing me for trying to ruin my sister's relationship, I wasn't ready to be friendly with her. I also couldn't see her the same after embarrassing and shaming me with her sisters. I think it was around 6 or 7 p.m. and I was in my room and became knocking on my door and asked if they can come in. I went to check who else was there and I saw it was Jay. I refused and tried to close my door, but they blocked it. My sister kept saying that they were trying to fix things, but I didn't want to listen and kept pushing my door to close it, but they were also pushing to open it and actually ended up opening it. I told them to leave my room and I was shouting for my dad to come up to my room, but my sister closed the door with her and Jay inside and leaned against it while telling me to calm down and hear them out. I refused and kept telling them to leave and tried to push my sister out to leave, but Jay tried to pull me back and I shouted at him not to touch me. My sister started crying and told me to stop acting this way and to just hear them out. My dad also came and was knocking for the door to be opened, and I said I would only listen to her if she lets my dad stay with me in the room, but she said that they both wanted to talk to only me and open the door to tell my dad and my mom, who was also there, about it, and of course my mom made my dad leave me with these people just because B was crying and she never cries unless it's serious and that kind of bull. So I called my dad and remained on the line with him and told him to listen just in case they tried to do something, and my sister was fine with it. I also told them to stay next to the door away from me, and then my sister started saying that Jay was really worried when I wasn't at home, and she also became worried because this wasn't me, and then Jay said that he felt guilty for being the cause of our family having issues, and then said that he decided to forgive me for trying to break him and my sister up and that he hoped everything could go back to the way they were before the party. My sister then started apologizing for saying mean stuff to me and said that no matter what she will always love me and that she wanted us to be close again. She also said that it was fine for me to like Jay, but I shouldn't try to break them up because they were very happy together, and that I would understand if I found someone that I loved like she loved Jay. Isn't that ridiculous? I even find it a bit funny. I asked my dad if he heard what they said and he scoffed, but my sister started saying that she understood that I was upset now, which is why they got me something, but it was in her room. Jay then said that it was very expensive, but he got it for me because he knew I really wanted it and said how excited he had been to give it to me. My sister then asked if she could give me a hug for making up, and then she said that we should go together with my mom for a girls' day out to make up, and I told her and her boyfriend to get out of my room. Jay then said that they were just trying to make up with me and that they both missed hanging out with me, and I told him to shut up and never talk to me again. I then told my sister that as long as she thought I liked Jay and as long as she believed Jay's side of the story over mine, I didn't want her to talk to me and I didn't want her in my room too, and that they should leave. B got mad and shouted at me saying that I was being mean and that despite the fact that I was trying to break them apart, she still wanted to be the bigger person and make up with me. My mom then came to the room, I think she was listening with my dad or standing outside my door, and said that we should all get along and the fight should end because we were all acting childish because of it. Jay was acting all innocent the whole time, nodding and agreeing with everything. I still don't understand why they're trying to make everything seem like it was before after publicly humiliating me in front of the family for telling them the truth about Jay. I told my dad to come and help me out of this situation, and he came and told them not to force me to talk to them when I didn't want to, and my sister insisted that we should make up as a family, and Jay nodded again in agreement and started telling me to listen to my mom and forget about it because they already did, and I swear I wanted to knock him out so bad. I told them to get out of my room or I'd go back to my grandparents' house, and this time I wouldn't return, and my mom now started crying and said I was going too far, but they left. My dad stayed, and I told him that I wanted to go back to my grandparents' house and stay there until I finished school since I'm a senior, but my dad refused and said he didn't want us to be separated again and that he'll find a solution for it. I've been wondering what I should do. Jay is still here and he had been knocking on my door, which was locked, after dinner and telling me to take his gift, which by the way is a figurine of an anime character called Gojo from an anime called Jujutsu Kaisen, the one we both liked, and he said that it costed more than $300 and since he spent all that money I should take it. My dad told me not to take it, but I wasn't planning on doing it either. My dad has also told him to stop trying to talk to me and to stop coming in my space because he's making me uncomfortable, but it made both my sister and dad to argue. My sister said it's not necessary. To stop Jay from coming close to me because Jay has zero interest in children like me and dropped her nice act after that. You guys told me to tell my dad to ban him from coming to our house and he did, but my mom and sister were against it and my parents even argued over it, but it doesn't really surprise me that Jay is still around even right now as I'm making this post. I think he might believe that what he did wasn't wrong if my sister didn't believe me. Plus B said she'd move out if Jay was banned from coming to our house and my mom cried about it and begged her not to while arguing more with my dad, and so that's not happening soon unfortunately. I don't want to be alone with him to record our conversation because I don't know what he can do to me when we are alone, so I'm sorry but I won't do that. So far when he's talking to me, it's mostly him talking about his gift and how he really wants me to take it and I don't feel comfortable taking anything from him. My sister also can't force me to take it because it was expensive, but I don't care. Also during dinner my sister said that she was uncomfortable now that I'm around and was saying that I ruined the peaceful atmosphere that was there in the house before I came back.
She even said that because of me making accusations towards Jay, I ruined the happiness our family had and also almost ruined her relationship.
My dad yelled at her to stop saying stuff like that to me and my sister yelled that only my mom loved her and that my dad and I were nothing to her blah blah blah. Honestly I don't know what her problem is. But I feel like it's kind of my fault that everything happened. There's been a lot of arguments between my family members and it's making me feel bad. Maybe I shouldn't have told my sister about Jay's confession. But I really did it with no bad intentions and because I didn't want to hurt my sister, but she didn't even believe me and neither did my mom. She said she believes my side of the story but then goes ahead and still sides with my sister. That's mostly why I don't want to talk to her. It's honestly upsetting and I really want to leave again.